What's going on, everybody? GMD Geek here with another video on some technology stuff. We're pretty hyped about NVIDIA's release information and all the fun stuff that comes with that they talked about regarding the 3000 series cards. I'm pretty pumped. I streamed on it last night. We went about 2 hours in that, so hopefully I can condense all the stuff that we talked about into, maybe a 15-minute window, I hope. So we're going to talk about what the 3070, 3080, and 3090 cards are, what the new technology is it's bringing, why they're so much faster, why it's such a game changer, some of the software that comes with it that's going to help gamers, not only from a competition standpoint, from esports, all the way down to streamers in general, with some very cool, improved quality of life related to audio and graphics from your webcams. And then we're going to talk a little bit about the Machinima, which is some really cool content creation tools and utilizations. So we're going to do all that. We're going to talk about the tech. I'm going to talk a little bit, and I'm going to do this right off the bat, why I prefer building a PC over buying a PC from, say, Walmart, and definitely not buying from CyberPower or a couple of those other locations, just because of the fact, the way I look at it, many of those companies online or Walmart, they're doing the mass production. You're not, into my personal experience, having built probably over 100 gaming systems, is you're not going to make money off of a gaming system. You could do mass. You're going to have a whole lot of purchasing power to be able to get low. You're going to have man hours you have to cover. So you're always going to have a very interesting margin. And that margin is going to be impacted when supply and demand is hit. And it just makes it's just not something I see making really good money at. What I do see is when you build a PC for somebody and you get to go pick the parts, you're picking quality, you're picking dependability, you're picking customer service for the manufacturer of those parts. You're able to put more of the personality of the specific person into it. Not only that, but the person that's building the PC, in this case for me, if I'm building for somebody else, it's my rep on there. I'm putting my name in it. I'm making the box about them. And if it doesn't do well, they don't do well, I don't do well. It's an interesting situation. So when I go part these things out, the cheapest I've been able to get down to, and with these new cards and everything, the 3070, and I'm hoping a 3060 in the future, means that we're gonna be around $1,000, maybe 850 if we really cut a couple corners, which I don't approve of, to get a really solid performing gaming system that will see you through for quite a while. And with these the minimum here, 3070 card, outperforming a 20 Ti, according to NVIDIA in their press release, you're even going to be able to game and stream off that system pretty comfortably. There's some caveats to that, but when people asked me last night when I was streaming about this, what would you buy a PC from Walmart? Hell no, I would not buy a PC from Walmart. I've seen too many videos from like Gamers Nexus and all that other stuff, from Bitwit and some other larger YouTube companies that have more resources than I do, disposable resources to go buy things like that. Finding hot glue on the motherboard, unplugged wire stuff, improperly seated, the wrong parts, the wrong mismatching. So they put, a higher end motherboard that can't support RAM, or the lower end motherboard that can't support the faster RAM, things like that. So part it out. You're going to know what you're going to get. You're going to be able to get the warranty. You're not going to get the cheap parts that cause overheating. Also, things like CyberPower that really bugged me were there's nothing there. The user or the person, the consumer that's buying the PC, if they know nothing at all about PCs, are really at the mercy of the site or the builder of the PC to help them say, hey, these are the minimum things that you need. Not a cheap case that doesn't have good airflow. Not buying a gaming system with the 2080 Ti card and an i9 processor, the high-end one, and then not recommending or saying, hey, man, in addition to the two fans on that 2080 Ti card and the H60 liquid cooler that's got a rad this big and only sits on top of the CPU, you probably going to want 3 or 4 more fans. Also, make sure you don't set it on a floor or anything like that, because you're going to have heating and thermal issues. And then all of a sudden, 6 months later, that box is just having nothing but heating problems and is burnt something out because it just constantly overheated. So I think that if you're going to professionally build a box, you need to educate the person buying it and let them know exactly what the minimum requirements are that you would expect in a system if you were the one building it for yourself. So it's quality control stuff. Anyways, let's get on to why you're really here for the graphics cards. So they announced earlier this week the 3070, the 3080, and the 3090. There was no mention of the 3060 card. I'm expecting that they want to get 3070, 3080, and the 3090 cards sold, given a couple of weeks, because you got the 3080 is coming in on September 17th, the 3090 on September 24th, then the 3070, which is the $500 card, isn't going to come till October. Notice all this is prior to the console releases, by the way. But I would suspect sometime before the end of the year, if they do have a 3060 card, we'll see that. They're just waiting for other sales to take over, and then you'll get a lower end card that is still going to perform. If it does as well as the 3070, we'll still give the 2000 series cards a run for their money. So let's get over here to my notes. What I think is really interesting is the 3070 is for your everyday gamer. It's going to be $500. It has an estimate, it's 10% faster than the 2080 Ti card. My 2080 Ti card that I dropped $1,250 on. This 3070 for $500 is an estimated 10 to roughly 12% faster. It's got 8 gigs of G6. This is not the G6X that is on the 3080 or the 3090, which we'll talk about in a minute. But it's got 8 gigs of G6, runs ray tracing at 1440p at 60 frames per second, fantastic. 220 watts rated power, comes available in October. When in October, we're not sure, but as soon as it's available, I'll let everybody know. What does this mean? This means a 3070 card for $500. If you drop that in a budget system, so you're gonna be around $1,000, so you're gonna be able to do it with that 3070 card. You should be able to game and stream at pretty dang good resolutions. The only caveat for all these cards, the 3070, 80, or 90, is that you really need to go get a monitor that's 144 hertz and probably 4K. Otherwise, you're not going to have a lot of benefits to it. Just saying, you really do need at least a 144 hertz monitor. Gone is the day of relying on a 60 hertz monitor. Okay, so you've got the 3070. I think that's perfect for your everyday gamer. The 3080 game card is going to be really, to quote Bill and Ted, most excellent across the board for 99% of the gamers and streamers out there. The game want great performance off of it because it's 2 times faster than the 2080 Ti on paper and in the presentation. So you can game and you can stream on it. Because I personally, I don't like having separate boxes. I don't like having one for gaming and then one for doing all my streaming and everything. The technology today, especially with something like a 3900 or 3950X, or even down to the 3700 processors from AMD, which are really designed for multifunction. Yes, I know there's the debate. The i9 can game, and they proved under certain specific circumstances that it does have a better overall performance for certain games in certain specific situations. I want a processor that multitasks, that lets me play a game really, really well, that lets me run a stream, have a couple monitors, and do multiple tasks all at the same time. And AMD, you can reference Linus Tech Tips, Jay's 2 cents. But with these guys, Gamer Nexus, they've all done the benchmarks. Gamers Nexus does a really great job of going into super detail if you want more information. If I'm going fast, I apologize. I'm trying to keep this under 15-20 minutes. So, 3070, great card, intro card, everyday gamer. The 3080, though, is going to be their flagship. NVIDIA called it their flagship. It's 20% cooler, less power, less heat generation. The fans are designed at the end of the block, hanging over, so it helps with airflow and cooling the card. It's going to make a huge difference. I think their redesign on that one, once proven, if it's proven solid, which we will see here in a couple of weeks, is going to be fantastic. I'm going to use the word fantastic, amazing, awesome, and I'm not shilling out. I'm not paid for these guys. I just think this new stuff is really cool. It's got 30 Shader-TFLOPS, 58 RT-TFLOPS, and 238 Tensor-TFLOPS. 10 gigs of the G6X Micron memory. So that you know the difference. The G6 versus the G6X. The G6X is twice as fast as the G6. It's the fastest RAM out there. It's generation 6. It's pretty dang awesome. You'll be able to use ray tracing at 4K, 60 frames per second, 320 watts power rated. That one is available on September 17th. So I'll be going down to Micro Center first thing in the morning, camping out, being a fanboy, and trying to get a 3070. I want to find out if they'll let me get one card or two, or I mean for the 3080, not the 3070, but for the 3080, because that's also going to determine how things go for the 3090, which we'll talk about now. So the 3090 at 50, okay, and the 3080 is going to retail at an estimated $700. Probably go up to close to maybe $800 depending on ASUS or whichever version and flavor you get from the manufacturer. We'll see. We have wait to see, but everything should be estimated around $700, $800, I would think, for a 3080 card. The 3090 card is going to run closer to $1,500, $1,600, but it has some reasoning for that one. And this one is more towards those that don't care about budget. You're only going to really pick up like a 5% benefit to gaming and streaming in performance between the 3080 and the 3090 because of what you're going to do. So that extra doubling your money, the extra $700, $800 you're going to spend, you might do other upgrades like a monitor and maybe some other system upgrades. And be better well suited for what you're trying to do. But for those that are really getting into the streaming, the gaming, content creation, using full advantage of the NVIDIA's Machinima, doing video renderings and graphics, this is what that card is really there for, especially since it's 24 gigs of G6X RAM. There's a lot of potential to be able to buffer stuff and doing, especially if you're doing development, gaming, and content stuff. That's really cool. It's quieter, 10 times quieter, 30% cooler. You will actually be able to ray trace at 8K, 60 frames per second. The shadow play, and we're going to keep this note across all these cards because of the improvements, your shadow play files are going to get bigger. They're going to have a higher quality to them. And so they're going to be a bit bigger. All these cards also have HDMI 2.1 for better bandwidth, better throughput, and going straight to the monitors. I know like LG has come out with them in their one of the first ones to adopt HDMI 2.1, not only in TVs, but in their monitors, so you have really great bandwidth. 10K CUDA cores, that's more than double what was on the predecessor. So essentially, and that card's available September 24th for retail. What does that all mean? There's a lot of geek talk, a lot of all that other stuff. What that means is some really serious performance increases across the board. Now, not specific to the 3090, but the 3000 series, they did a couple changes. They added some processors or whatever you want to call it to the cards. So you've now got a data decompression RTX-IO function, which is similar. And everyone's like, well, it's just what they're doing in the PS5. Yes, PS5 has an AMD graphics card on it, and then the PS5 has a separate controller that does a lot of the calculations and help you offload from the CPU and go directly to the GPU and the GPU RAM for decompression files and opening. So NVIDIA stated they worked with Microsoft to specifically take advantage of PCI 4 M2 drives, which is going to be your higher end-band M2 SSD cards that use the PCI 4 slot. So you have to make sure you have a motherboard that has PCI 4 on it that does support the M2 PCI 4 cards. If you do, then you're in the right boat, because that's going to take it directly. And what they're going to do, instead of taking decompressing the gaming files, running through processor and RAM, system RAM, and then presenting to GPU and all that stuff, it's going to go straight from the files through pipe to over the PCI 4 to the GPU memory, and it's going to run super, super fast. So you can see 7 gigs per second. The PS5, by the way, runs at 5.5 gigs per second. This isn't me comparing the two. It's just this is what was announced in the NVIDIA video. Some people they're trying to say, well, this still opens faster. Different tech. This is all M2. It's all based on PCI 4 Gen architecture. So you will have to have the later stuff if you want it to run that fast. M2 and SSD is still going to perform. It's still going to take advantage of it. It's just not going to be as efficient. So you're going to have really quick, really fast load times. So instantaneous loads, zone transfers, all this other stuff. I can't wait to see how much faster it's actually going to be. So some of the other things that came out of it that we want to talk about real quick is NVIDIA Reflex. There's a couple things about this as they talked about it. It goes all the way back to the 1000 series cards. It's a latency performance enhancement. They're rewriting some code or making some software changes to help with the input latency between the keyboard and what you're seeing on the screen to the time that you fire and muzzles and all this other stuff. It's really more specific and aimed at esports. There's new technology that they're coming out with inside of monitors. I don't think the graphics in here for the monitor, but some of these 360 hertz monitors, you're going to plug your mouse into and keyboard into the monitor instead. And it's called a reflex technology that's built into the monitor, and it's going to help with the processing. But you can still see here, you got the mouse, the CPU, the rendering, the GPU, and the display. You're going to get some benefits either way. The reflex is really aimed really specifically towards your esports guys that really take first-person shooters, are really needing quick, responsive action between the keyboard and the screen of the game that you're playing. So looking forward to see how that goes. I don't think I'm going to care about it too much because I'm not a competitive diehard player, but if you are, this is worth checking out. Oh, it's right here. You can see in this graphic on the screen that let me move this. My camera was covering up. Right here, you can see what they're calling. Let me expand this, make it a bigger picture here, and I'll move up out of the way. Oops, nope. But as you can see, let me come back here. We'll zoom in a little bit. Right here, they're calling this the Reflex Latency Analyzer integrated into G-Sync. So I don't know if this, I'm not still 100% certain if this is G-Sync card in the monitors handling it, or if it's a specifically chip or something on there that's going to help with the reflex latency, or if it's anything like that, or if it's all software based between the GPU and the G-Sync that's built in the monitors. The monitors they're touting are 360 hertz all the way down to 144 hertz, with 360 having the best touted. Anyways, you can find out. I'm gonna have the link for all this information in the description below. The next one that I think is fantastic and is groundbreaking for us as gamers and streamers is NVIDIA Broadcast, formerly known as RTX Voice, where it did noise canceling and got rid of it using AI and stuff, was able to drown things out like the fans and like AC or air conditioning blowing in, background noise, kids screaming off in the distance, getting into fisticuffs or having shenanigans, whatever it might be. Well, they took that a step further and they expanded it to your video, your webcam, okay? And we all know as gamers and streamers, content creators, if your audio is not good, you're going to lose audience because they really want to be able to hear you clearly. So the audio piece is really going to hit home and clean it up really, really nice. The video piece, though, what I find is great is it's going to help amplify the quality of your webcam. I'm using A6000 from Sony, so I have pretty decent webcam quality already. For those using like a Logitech C920 or a C922X or other cheaper webcams that have been known to need a lot of lighting, have graininess to them, a lot of noise, the software should help with that quite a bit. The other things that it does is it does really cool artificial green skins using AI. So you don't have to have a green screen anymore. You're not going to have all that weird stuff. It's not going to give you a glow around your head that's as predominant, like your hair moves or something. But it's pretty cool in what it does, and I just see it getting better. They did a short video on it. This is where his girlfriend comes in with the hairdryer and turns the hairdryer on. He activates the noise cancellation inside of RTX Broadcast, and it gets rid of the hairdryer. You can still hear him really cool. His friend here is playing away on a keyboard and everything else, typing really loud, and he can't barely hear him, and he cuts it out, and it goes great. It's pretty cool. So they get rid of that. That's the really cool stuff. But I'm trying to fast forward here because I got a lot to do, and we're going to go over 20 minutes. So these are the artificial green screens, right? Backgrounds you can choose, or if you don't want to and just want it to use your game, it's going to cut the game out, put you inside there, and free flow it all the way around. So your green screen's gone. I know a lot of great streamers out there are going to love this because that means they don't have to show their background if they don't want to. I like showing off my stuff. I got a lot of cool collectibles over 44 years or 44 levels of life. I got some cool stuff. But this is might be something I'm interested in using every now and then, especially if you're trying to minimalize your overlays for ease on the eyes. So you'll be able to do all that. But it's got to find me, follow me too. It's essentially a cameraman technology in the broadcast. So if you move, the camera doesn't, see, my camera doesn't follow me now, but if you move with the new technology, the camera itself, while it's not physically moving, it's going to follow the frame. So it's going to show you. So if I slouch by the end of the game while I'm gaming and I'm down here like this, it'll follow me so it doesn't look like I'm slouching as much. So you've got microphone and speakers, and then you got the camera stuff that it's covering. So you can see it's, let's me mute this a little bit and we'll play it. You can see how the camera followed him. Okay, it followed the frame, never touched the camera. Pretty cool stuff. Anyways, that is what the Reflex is in the NVIDIA Broadcast. Again, all the links will be in the description below. The last one that they introduced was Omniverse Machinima. I messed that up. Hopefully I say it the right way. This is going to let you do is take graphics from the games that you play in, and then add certain graphics yourself to those to try and do better content creation. So if you're looking for a little quick 30-second commercial, you're looking for short YouTube videos or content videos or whatever platform it might be, this is going to let you take that to the next level, and it's more cinematographical, if that's a term, but it really lets you do a lot of your own special effects and visual effects. It is going to let you take what you're talking, you can apply it to models. And so it'll take your voice and your motion through your camera, and it'll see your lips and apply that so your models will have your voice movement and match the mouth. So you can sign up for them as well. It also takes your camera and will let you do motion photography using your body or your kids as a framework. And then you can apply graphic frames over the top of those to give you more of a sense of what's going on. Worth checking out. I'm not going to go deep dive into it because it's not a whole lot of people are going to go into it, but again, the description will be in the down below. That said, I'm really excited to see what these cards are going to do. All this information will be in the description. You can pop over the Discord and ask me. Hit the subscribe and like button because we're going to start breaking these cards down as they come out, and if we get more information on it, and if you want to know about it, if you subscribe and like it, you'll get the notification bell. I also do other information videos, help videos, and everything ranging from tuning your sound and Q&As and all that. But you can hit me on Twitter or anything else, or in-game. I'd be happy to help out and answer what I can. That being said, if you guys have any questions, feel free to hit me up at any time. I'd be more than happy to answer questions, run games with you. I'm usually in Destiny or whatever else, hanging out with some people. But all that'll be in there. And again, to summarize real quick, I know this video is a little bit longer. 2070 for everyday gamers, 3070 for everyday gamers, 3080 for gamers and streamers, 99% of us. The 3090 is the pinnacle, higher end card. Go get it, kind of an in-game solution. Lots of cool technology that also goes with those, ranging from Reflex to Broadcast to Machinima, and the whole speed at which everything is accessing. Again, across the board, with the 3080, you're looking at 2 times the performance over the 2080 Ti card, and that's just crazy to me. So anyways, guys, stay safe, have a great day, enjoy your gaming, enjoy your streaming, and as always, don't let your ghost get shot. And if you need anything, hit me up on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, comments below, whatever. I'm here. You guys have a great day.